Pony Island is a game about horses, sort of. But not these kind of horses, or these kind of horses, or these kind of horses. In fact, you know what? Here, let me just show you the Steam store page description.
You are in limbo, trapped in a malevolent and malfunctioning arcade machine devised by the devil himself.
It is not a game about ponies, although it kind of is, sort of, but not. Anywho's, there are three main sections of gameplay here. The parts with the running horse, which start out childishly simple, because, you know, you're just hopping over the fences, but eventually it turns into absolute insanity. Then there are the puzzle sections, where you place certain logical blocks within the devil's shitty programming to get around bugs. And then there are the parts in between, where you essentially explore the arcade machine and try to perform basic tasks as the game fucks with you. Now, the running and jumping pony segments are probably the weakest in the game, although they aren't bad by any means. They've got nice progression, solid mechanics, and a good sense of intensity throughout the later parts. Now, there are some weird hitboxes, and it can be a bit frustrating to restart a level, especially, you know, just having to do it all over again, but ultimately, I had little issue with these segments as a whole. Now, some of the puzzles may seem kind of extreme when you first look at them, but they're really not that bad. You don't have to do any actual programming. You're basically just puzzling out, you know, how the code should advance so you can get the key to the keyhole, and the game explains everything along the way in a very intuitive fashion, including humorous hints and quips within the lines of pseudocode. So, yeah, no sweat. You got it, man. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah. Now, I mean, I will admit some challenges might be a bit much, whether it be, you know, some of the puzzles or some of the more think outside the box kind of moments, but none of them will leave you stuck. Because, you know, you can just finagle around with it randomly, and you'll eventually have the puzzle solved, so, you don't gotta be a genius to get through it all. No Einsteins required here. Now, what really got people's attention, and what made this game the essential first little indie darling hit of 2016, is what occurs while you're exploring the machine, I guess you could call it. The game constantly throws bizarre situations at you, demanding you to think outside the box and even shattering the fourth wall at times. I mean, it loves to demonstrate its cleverness and its understanding of how the player will operate. I mean, one particular moment, one that I will not spoil for you, actually freaked me out so much that I was paranoid as to whether or not I was still playing the game. Now, what helps with this immensely is the game's fantastic sense of tone, and while it does have some nice jokes and gags here and there to lighten the mood, the game is overall very eerie and gloomy, making you anxious as to what may be lurking around the next click of the mouse. Now, the sound design is great, and the soundtrack is pretty good. I mean, even though it sounds like something one could make using like a Fruity Loops triple oscillator, it's still competently composed, and it fits the mood very well. Now, the game's not perfect. The story may feel, you know, lackluster to some, and there are some red herrings in there that might throw you off in a bad way, and, you know, there is a deeper hidden lore that is pretty cool and interesting, but you can read about it in only a few minutes, so it might not even be worth exploring to some. Plus, there's a bit at the very end that kinda throws in an extra bit of fourth wall break that may seem hollow to some, although it does have a pretty interesting message to it, I guess. Overall, though, I'd say Pony Island is definitely worth checking out. It is $5 for 1.5 hours to 2 hours worth of mindfuckery and other assorted gameplay, so, you know, unless you're someone who thinks that games have to have a 1 hour per dollar ratio, then I definitely recommend picking it up, so go do that, because it's good. It's pixel horse out of 10. That's that good. It is that good, man. It is so good, real good. Go get it now, or your family will be very disappointed, and that'll be 2 horses that you'll never get on the upcoming holiday season, whenever that is, and that just makes you a traitor. That makes you a traitor to your family. Traitor to your country. You're a traitor to the human race. You traitors. Just get the game already. Traitor.